Hi, data normalization. So what is data normalization? You can also hear term data scaling, and I should say it's an informal term used a lot in a data visualization. It may represent lots of things, and we're going to start with explaining why we need it. So the main reason to normalize data is to be able to compare apples to apples.
Data normalization, or data scaling. What European country was impacted the most with corona pandemic? How we will define the impact. Total cases, or number of deaths? Let's take a look at the death cases. United Kingdom and Spain are at the top of the list, while Switzerland and Belgium are at the bottom. But UK population is 66 million and Switzerland only 8 million. How can we compare? We must normalize. How do we normalize if it is 6 times the difference? We can use population in the country to scale the data. Normalized number would be the total deaths per 1 million. Country population divided by total cases of death. It will help to reflect the population size while comparing. Now, Belgium moved to the top, while Spain is almost at the bottom. Less changes are for the United Kingdom and Switzerland. I see the difference now. Are there other options to normalize? Approach to normalization or scaling depends on the business problem. We can normalize in time. Here is the different example. By March of 2020, AIDS killed 25 million people, and Corona only 304,000. But look at the duration. We should normalize in time. I pick month for this problem. Corona is 4 months only, AIDS is 480 months, which is 40 years multiplied by 12 months. Let's calculate. Corona is 304,000 divided by 4 months, 76,000 deaths a month. AIDS is 25 millions divided by 480 months, 52,000 deaths a month. Now, Corona looks much worse. Indeed. There are many ways to normalize or scale your data. By item. For example, by population, duration, upper or lower limits, its milestones, combination of the above and even more. The key to the right approach is to understand the data and the business problem.
There can be many other factors. That's why I always say that true data scientists should focus on business problem and on learning about the data they work with. That's where they should spend the majority of their time. The rest is just manipulation, but you have to understand the problem and the underlying data and manipulate data accordingly. So normalization is when you scale the data and try to make it try to use the same dimension. Okay, here is another note for you to take. So if you're a data scientist, someone tell you that data was normalized, it's okay to ask how. It's okay to ask what they mean. And if you work in the more technical field like database programming, database building, normalized data is frequently used to explain the way data was stored in the database. Like highly normalized database would have many tables. Keep in mind this term means lots of things, and it's used informally to be able to compare apples to apples. Bear with us, so keep in mind before you create any graph as a data scientist, a business intelligence expert, you have to understand the business problem. We'll have lots of video about that. And you have to understand your underlying data and decide what methods and how you're going to process or normalize it to be able to get accurate result and actually compare apples to apples. Thank you for being with us.